Evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, question of the night. Talia Hunter needed on Days of Our Lives. Now, in the beginning, she seemed like she was kind of a fun and interesting character, and I'm pretty sure she may wind up doing something that may surprise me. But I don't know. One minute she's a baker, then you find out she's a doctor. We don't even know her reasons of why she's not a doctor anymore. And I just feel like even just throwing out the whole, oh yeah, also she's a doctor. Okay, it's like is she a boxer also? Like is she an astronaut? I felt like that was just kind of thrown out of nowhere. And I want to know what everyone thought about this episode. We're also going to be sitting there talking about all the other shows as well, B&B, GH, YNR, all of them. What's good, Shauna? What's good, Makai? What's good, Dave? What's good, Spiderquake? What's good, CW? What's good, Mel? Um, no, I'm not. I'm not doing well. I'm not. I'm not planning on doing the. I'm not gonna. I'm taking a break from doing General Hospital until the nurses' ball. To the nurses' ball events are done. I can't stand them. You know, it's funny. I can't stand them. And if you saw my review on Monday, what's good, Larby? Thank you for joining. If you saw my review on Monday, you knew just exactly how much I could not stand it. Seriously, what's good, Sheree? Thank you for joining us. I know you had a long day. Trust me, we talked about it. Oof, I do not miss those days. What's good, Shauna? Thank you for joining. Sheree, stop disrespecting nurses. That's exactly why I didn't want up doing a review on it. Well, actually, it's kind of funny. I did want up doing a review on it. Now, as I know, you usually do. Spike Quick said if something good happens, would you? Oh yeah, Spike Quick. Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna do it. It's funny too because I wound up doing a review tonight on General Hospital. It was kind of a half-ass review though, and so I'm wondering if I should actually put it out tonight. So yeah, it is always great. It is always a pleasure to sit there and see you, Sheree. What's good, Dave? Thank you for joining. And I said CW's in the chat. What's good, CW? Makai's in the chat. Makai, thanks for the heads up. I can't wait to see why not tomorrow. You see, I had to catch up. Hmm. Cherie, how late you gonna be up tonight? Makai says Summer went in on Diane. Yeah, it was so stupid. It was so dumb. Oh my god, I felt like that was probably the worst part. Summer going in on Diane for no reason. Oh, you killed my mother, or oh, you take my mother's life. I'm like, Summer, shut your stupid ass up. Last day was good. Last day. Shauna says why Jada and Rafe can't see each other. He was seeing hope. Oh, Abe explained because there was a point where they were equals, and I think he changed it around for some odd reason. I'll say tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie, his explanation didn't really make a lot of sense. But also, I wasn't watching back then. Pretty much what it comes down to is Abe is like they're not equals. They're not equals, so that's why. Rafe is her boss, so it just optics and stuff like that. If they were equals, then I think it would be a little bit different. Fun says Summer played her part today. I mean, unless she's in on it. If she's in on it, then all right, go her. But if she's not, then yeah. She says I'm not used to this. Used to what? Oh, I work till like 11:30. Okay. All right. If I'm up, then I'll text you. Oof, okay. This did not come out the way I wanted it to. Mix that in a little bit more. CW says CW says the same mother that she shunned for Diane. Now she's tearing into Diane for summer. Go sit down, please. Hmm. Black Mon's in the chat was good. Black Mon. I wouldn't sit there and say that she shunned. I wouldn't sit there and say that Summer shunned Phyllis. She treated her like an adult, and Phyllis acts like a child. Mikhail says Lehman Thomas. Okay, yes. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Darby's in the chat. Was good, Darby? Was good, Black Mon? I'm doing good. How you doing tonight? How are you doing tonight? I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. This has been here's the thing. It was a good day, right? I hated waking up so late. I hated waking up so late. And I think here's the thing. I think I probably woke up so late because I took something. I'm gonna try not to take anything tonight, and hopefully that'll be a little bit better. But um yeah, I wound up doing a review on General Hospital, which I'm probably not gonna put out because I did kind of half-ass it. I don't want to put it out. I don't know. I'm very up and down about it if I should put it out or not. Because it wasn't even like I didn't actually take any notes or anything like that. I was just watching it. And of course I had to practically fast forward through every single musical scene that they put on. Um so yeah, I don't know. Oh, also for the people that have been watching Days of Our Lives, there's been some sound issues, particularly in a certain like the scenes with John Black, with John and Marlena, like every stuff like that's in their house. It's just there's been some sound issues. I've noticed that for the last past couple of days. Um, maybe Sheree, maybe. I think I was considering that. I was really considering that. Shauna says Leon needs to have a seat. Does anybody remember when Steffi called him in the dressing room of Forrester Hope? Have a seat. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I don't remember that, but I was thinking about that, Sheree. I was. Last day says Thomas and Liam are going to go at it tomorrow. Should be fun. It definitely should be fun. But here's the thing, though. I knew that was going to happen the minute that they put that step stool on for Hope to sit there and step on. I knew that was going to end up happening. I knew it. I knew that was going to end up happening. John says Liam constantly cheating on Hope. He's a jerk. So I was going to sit there and get this tomorrow, but I was like, damn, this thing is heavy. So I'm getting this tonight. Damn. And, I feel like in some ways I should sit there and take a picture of it. Every time I get to the liquor store, it sounds so. But every time I get there, it's it is well. Anyway, every time I get there, always have to sit there and kind of remember what's the brand that I got. Because it's like I get there and it's like I just have amnesia. So I'm like, maybe I should take a picture of it this time. Ariana's in the chat. What's good, Ariana? How are you doing today? I hope you had a great day. Shonda says I'm sick of everything. Tom. Darby says Team Hope. Oh, Mel says, I thought it was funny when Melissa trash making those noises in the bread. Oh God. Mel, I feel like I need to watch something else just to get that sound out of my head. Listen, don't get me wrong. I love Melinda Trash. I do, but and that scene was just really weird and awkward. Cherie says, "I see you with the Shutter House wine." Yeah. I like that brand. I like that brand. So I gotta sit there and take a picture of it because every time I get there, it's like I kind of forget. I forget. Shauna says, Nicole, let Stefan play her. Um, then it was that really awkward music towards the end. Like when he was going down to the panic room or wherever that room was to meet up with Gabby. I was like, what in the hell is this music about? Like it was so weird. Darby says that's Team Thomas and Hope if someone. Oh no, I get that. CW says honestly at this, if Thomas is up to something, he doesn't have to do much. Yes, I said that in my review. I said the exact same thing in my review. I was like, Ariana says it was a long day. We're hanging out tonight. You damn right we're hanging out tonight, Ariana. But it's always good to see you in the chat. Um, but I said the same thing. I was like, Liam is going to literally push Thomas. Hope right into Thomas's arms, literally. Last day says Thomas sucks. Okay. Shauna says why Gabby and stuff is sneaking around is not worth it. If Lee is going to follow Gabby around. Shauna, this whole Lee following Gabby around is so pathetic. Jesus. It's so pathetic. You see him you when you see him like running after Gabby and you see sweat. You see sweat on that man's head. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? EJ was like, yo, listen, you don't have a chance with her at this point. After everything that you did, you have zero chance with this woman. The best you're going to get is your share. And this is something that he said in the beginning when he was pursuing, um, Gabby. He was like, yo, listen, I'll choose his job over her. Like, I like her, but like, I like my job more. I'm like, bro, you should go back to that. You should really go back to that because this woman is disrespecting you like there's no tomorrow. And by the way, Kyle is such a damn beta. Jesus, I just, Jonathan is in the chat. What's good, Jonathan? Thank you for joining tonight. Um, I'm gonna have to take your word for that, Makai. Um, because I know nothing about chemistry. What was good, Jonathan? Johnson says, who are we talking tonight? Oh, who are we talking about tonight? We're talking about Talia Hunter and if she's needed. So yes, the question is Talia Hunter needed on Days of Our Lives? And I've been racking my brains that they're trying to think if this chick is needed. I mean, I know she's still new, but I'm just like, eh. CW says I don't get the hype around Liam and Hope. If the walls could talk, they would say. Darby says I always knew it. Hope was a fake goody good. Thomas was such an itch that she been ashamed to scratch because everybody been telling her it's wrong of her, wrong to be with him. Justice says so far it doesn't seem like she is. Yeah, I'm like and then today she was meant to talk about, but I performed a medical miracle today. I diagnosed this woman and it turned out that it was just a panic attack. And I'm just like, you want a cookie for that? Sweetheart, we don't even know why you're not a doctor anymore. And you're bragging about performing a medical miracle? Okay, bro. Shauna says Link approached Josh the wrong one. Her mom is yeah. So I saw that too. Shauna. That's something else I also said. That's something I also said. I don't know. I don't know. Here's the thing. What's good? What's good, Double C? I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to fully take a break from General Hospital. I may not put out the video tonight, but you know, if anybody was in the chat yesterday and they remember somebody snick there saying something along the lines of, you know, you don't have one nice thing to say about General Hospital. You don't even like the show. I don't even understand why you're watching it. I don't know if anyone remember that, but I said to myself, I was watching it today. I was like, man, I really don't like a lot of this nurses ball stuff, so I'm going to take a break. But I've been doing these reviews so long, these general hospital reviews so long that I was kind of just like, I want to talk about it. Even though I didn't write any notes, I still want to talk about it. So clearly, I like the show. But WC says today's days wasn't as good as it could have been. The cases in the chat was good. The case said it looked like Serena said it for trouble, even though they just I hate that. What's good, Nikisha? Thank you for joining us. WC said Daily Motion still airs, so videos. Jesus Christ. See, this is what I don't like about StreamYard. It's like the comments just jump like there's no tomorrow. CW says, no, hold on. Double C says, is Daily Motion still airing soap opera videos? I don't see all the soaps there. Well, Double C, if it's General Hospital, you're not going to see that. Shauna is in the chat. If it's, yeah, um, no, Shauna says, Albert, explain to me when Steffi asked Hope Thomas, it was a sin, but Brooke asked her, it's all goody. Yeah, yeah, it was a sin, but Brooke asked her, it's all goody. I don't get that. Hold on, Shauna, I don't get that. I don't understand how. That's not really. Lorby says Link makes me physical as well. Yeah, Lorby, I dude just has this creep factor. Like there's no tomorrow. Ariana says, "Are you still giving that negative comment entry now?" Well, yeah, actually, actually, I am. But I think it's just because it was like it's your choice, Albert. No, no, no. I said that I was not going to review General Hospital until the nurses' ball was over, but I still had this itch, I guess, for talking about it because I'm just so used to talking about it that I wound up doing this. I wound up doing a review on it that wasn't really a full review because it was like, and yeah, I should probably just let that whole thing go. What's good, Valerie? I want to doing a somewhat review on it, and I don't know. I said I wasn't gonna wind up doing a review on it, and what's good, Janet? Good decision. Nurse's ball is boring. What's good, Janet? How you doing tonight? I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it up because I'm sitting there thinking about taking it down. Well, I did sit there and say if it was worth importance, and I'll sit there and watch it and review it. So I'll keep it up. What's good, Jess? Thank you for joining. Last day says last. Why is Hope always protesting about Thomas giving her compliments for Liam? Sorry, sake. Damn. But she wants to say no. Here's the thing about the compliments. She want to make sure that Thomas isn't there being, you know, obsessive. So, oh wow, this is kind of spicy. Hmm. Kyrie's is in the chat. What's good, Kyrie's? Kyrie's actually liking scenes from Summer. That was interesting. Blackmon says, "Did you get your wine, Albert, just in case?" Oh, Blackmon, did I get my wine? Damn right, I got my wine. It's heavy. It took me a minute to actually find it. Though. I kind of forgot the people that did it. Like going in a maze in that store. They got so much stuff. Darby says, okay. Johnson says, I would have been funny if Leanne Walk came in with a relaxed tone and said, well, that's what we have. Yeah, it actually would have been fun. It actually would have been funny. Right? Yeah, of course, right? You know, it's funny. Okay, so tomorrow, I think I'm probably going to chill on the wine because I do have work the next day. But tonight, I don't. So I can have a little fun tonight. Carrie says, I still hate Summer with a passion. I'm just saying her scenes were the best part of the show. That not a good thing. Okay. Oh, okay. Damn. Oh, Carrie's always keeping it real. Yeah, that's funny. I guess it was the most. No, no, she just irritated me too much. I mean, it was the most. I guess it was the most interesting part of the episode, even though it pissed me off. So, you know what? Maybe you got a point, Kyrie's. Maybe you got a point. Because I always sit there and say this. I'd rather be angry and annoyed with a scene than be bored. Because boredom will just piss me off so much more. Valerie says, I already forgot that song, Josh and Trina's song. I fast forward through it, so I'm still. Yeah. Valerie, I was like, you got a point. Very good point, my friend. Very good point. I'm noticing. I may have to sit there and take that back to some extent, as far as doing reviews on General Hospital. Because let's be honest, I can give a damn about the performances, but I'm here for the drama. And it's not like they didn't have drama. They didn't have as much drama as I wanted it to be. But I just maybe I just can't stay away. Maybe I just can't stay away. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to sit there and delete that post. I'll start tomorrow. Oh, Jess, I watched it today. I did. I don't think that he actually shot him. I mean, I can't see him just actually shooting the son. But I did watch Jess. Well, screw it. Discard it. Discard all of it. I'm just erasing this whole post because I just can't stay away. Can't do it. Ariana says maybe GH is like a beautiful, annoying woman. Yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, I just like I said, I can't stay away. Um, Barbie says I couldn't see GH yesterday because of the special report, so I appreciate the replay. Ruth is in the chat. What's good, Ruth? Said Ruth, what's the topic about? Thank you. Um, well, we're talking about all of them. I mean, the topic of the night is about Days of Our Lives as far as Talia Hunter being needed. But we're talking about all of it, though. Talking about General Hospital, B&B, all of it. So, yeah. Also, I decided to continue doing reviews on GH despite the nurses ball stuff because, yeah. Mr. Bear's in the chat. What's good, Mr. Bear? Mr. Bear says the way Hope looked at Thomas before trying on that dress behind the back. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't sit there and say look desperate, but she was definitely looking. She was looking at it a little bit different. Valerie says no post tonight. No, because I'm on StreamYard and I still haven't figured out how to do the polls on here. When I go through YouTube, when I go straight to YouTube, then I'm able to do the polls and stuff like that. But StreamYard, yeah. Um, so I got to sit there and look that up. Brooklyn says, "Hi Albert. Looks like Hope is looking at Thomas and the good." Yeah, I noticed that too, Brooklyn. And how you doing tonight? How are you doing tonight? But yeah, since a lot of people are in the chat, I figure I could sit there and let everyone know that I'm still going to wind up doing the reviews on General Hospital, simply because I just can't stay away. I'm gonna don't ask me about the performances though, because yeah, I'm not doing that. But as far as everything else, I will be there. So I'll probably want to put out another post, tonight. Yeah, but I just it's funny too, Violet. It was like one day. I literally sat there on my high horse, like, no, I'm not gonna sit there and do any more reviews until the nurse tour is over. And then it happens to I'm just like, yeah, I kind of miss doing reviews on General Hospital. Just said the performance was terrible today. I don't even know what to say about that. Man, I actually pour a big enough glass? But yes. So, since I can't do polls, what is everyone's thoughts on TJ and Molly trying to have a baby? Is anyone excited? Anyone? Anyone actually excited about that? Nate, what's good, Nate? Nate says, "Hey Albert, and to answer your question, nah, she really not needed." Yeah. Hopefully time will sit there and prove a lot different. Javier says too young. Too young to start a family? John says you're not allowed to do polls anymore. No, Jonathan, because I'm going through StreamYard and I still don't know how to do polls going through StreamYard. Like if I'm on YouTube, like I go straight to YouTube, then it gives me more it gives me more access. But I don't know how to do the polls on here though. So I'm still learning that. I'm gonna try to look through it tomorrow and see if I can try to learn how to do polls on here. But everyone says no, no, no one is excited. Just that I didn't get them not drinking because they are trying to have a baby. Well, Jess, here's the thing. I get why Molly is not drinking, but TJ, yeah, that's just no. Yeah, Jonathan. When I learn how to actually do it on here, you best believe I'm gonna be doing it. Grams TV is in the chat. What's good, Grams TV? Darby says they are going to make an invisible baby that gets more screen time than they do. Grams TV says no, they have enough kids. Seriously? Jan says so right. TJ Jansen was weird. Hey, Kyrie said Hope knows she wants to taste it. uh, Brooklyn says, I have a feeling that when Victor leaves, not before he takes Ace with him. Yes. See, that's why I wish I actually did the review today, but I'm going to do it tomorrow, though. Let's see what I wrote something. All right. All right. I'm going to highlight. Oh, yeah. I figured I can do that. That's awesome. Okay. So Brooklyn says, I have a feeling that when Victor leaves, not before he takes Ace with him. Yeah. And again, I wish I actually wound up doing that. I don't want to have to come. Oh, okay. I guess I can now. I feel like I need some sort of a crash course in how to do StreamYard. Now, Johnson says, Jason, returned to GH in some form. Maybe they could start giving Danny stories as well, and also did the father son dynamic. And also do the son dynamic. XX is in the chat. Was good, XX? XX says, when I started watching, I was a teen. No, screw that. I'm not doing that. XX says, when I started watching, I was a teen during the TJ Molly teen scene, so I care about them to an extent, even though the show doesn't. Well, you gotta have more patience than I do. Curry says someone needs to stab old small boss Victor Castanine. He's working my nerves. Yeah, I saw DC do that one time. Cassidy says Esme loves her son. Shauna says it's a shame that bring Wyatt as a prop for Liam to. Ron is in the chat. What's good, Ron? I like this comment also. Shauna says it's a shame that brought Wyatt as a prop for Liam to whine about Thomas. Dolly's in the chat. Was good, Dolly? Yeah, I mean that's a very good point. Um, Wyatt hasn't really had much of a story. Excuse me. I know back in the day, he used to have some really good stories. Now, the dude's just there to be there. So I don't know. Now, uh, Johnson says, imagine if an old enemy of Jason returns for revenge and kidnaps Danny. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. And Dante would have to come in there and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Kyrie says White is the most useless character ever. He should have left with Flo to never return, hopefully. Damn. I didn't really like when I started watching the show. I didn't really care for Wyatt, to be honest, but I also felt like Wyatt was, on his way out the door. I felt like Wyatt was on his way out the door when that happened. When I started watching the show. So, so um, is anyone actually liking the nurses' ball? Is anyone liking the nurses' ball? Any of the performances that people are liking that they want to sit there and talk about? Damn, Janice said no. Right off the bat, Janet was like, "Nope." Valerie says, "Ask me when it's over." Dolly says, "Okay." So this is the question of the night. Dolly says, "I like Talia on days. I think she's a welcome addition." CW. CW is like, "Nope." Janet says, "Boring." Carrie says, "Flo is a baby stealing." Okay, I'm not going to highlight that. Oh, Kyrie's, I love it. Mr. Bear says Wyatt is a supportive character. Ariana says, "Do not care. Hell to the no." Hell to the no. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, Mel says, "I don't trust Talia. Just something is off with her, like she is there to cause havoc and mayhem." Blackmon says they can put a fork and it is done. Damn. Now, I like that comment, Mel, because here's the thing. Mel's like, "I don't trust her." But see, that can make her interesting. If she does actually have something that can cause some sort of havoc, then I'll be on board so far. And hopefully she doesn't turn out to be like an astronaut or I don't know, a nuclear physics or a physician or anything like that. Like just the fact that they threw in the fact just the fact that they threw in that she's a doctor. Johnson says, "I remember the last nurses ball was a telethon, but that mostly due to oh, okay. Now, Kyrie says, "I'm happy Ridge forgave his son as he should. A father's love is supposed to be unconditional." Now, Nitro, what's good, Nitro? Nitro says, Rami from Mobile Nation said, "You're okay." Aretha's in the chat. Aretha says, "Leah's pathetic. You can see how much Wendy hurts for him." Nitro, I haven't actually even thought about Rami in months. So, um, Kyrie's is interesting, the comment that you said, because I look at it and for me, I'm a new person. Um, Nitro said you did a video on Rami and now he said you're an eBay. Okay. I don't understand what that's supposed to do to me, Nitro, but okay. Um, but see, I'm a new person though. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of people can sit there and look at Thomas and be like, well, over and over and over and over again. Okay, hold on. And Darby says, Kyrie's, I disagree. No, I'm good, Nitro. Um, Kyrie says, Darby says, Kyrie's, I disagree. It should never be unconditional. There should be boundaries with respect on both sides. Well, thank you. Let me, yes, that's right. Hit the like button. I don't know what my like status is because I'm on StreamYard, but I'm trying to stop so I can see. So we got, yeah, 32 people in the chat. We got 14 likes. If you are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. It really does help. Rami is the one talking. I mean, no, it's cool, Nitro, it's cool, but like I said, I don't, you know, I don't really care that much, you know, if Rami Smith is talking about me. So it's a non-factor for me. I would sit there and say that, but I know that a lot of people, and I can see both sides. I can see Thomas not there because here's the thing: this isn't the first time that Thomas has said he's going to be different, and then go back on it and change his mind and do something stupid or whatever. Nitro said, "What started your beef with Rami?" I actually, here's the thing, Nitro. I'll sit there and say this because I don't, just because the topic is about something else. I'll say this. I'll say this much, Nitro. Darby says, "Look at Albert being all professional like a big shot." I thank you, Darby. But I'll say this though, Nitro. I originally didn't even have beef with him when he was, with predator poachers and stuff like that. He was actually my favorite person. But here's the thing, though, Nitro. I don't actually have beef with him. I talk about all the different predator catchers. You know, it's not like I'm just going after him specifically. I talk about all of them. So I don't have beef with him. I actually do like what he does. I don't like the way he goes about it sometimes, but I do. I like the cause, if that makes sense. Billy says, "Well, that's no. We posting comments now." Yeah, I saw that before. I did it. Here's the thing, Dolly. I did it by accident before at one point. Okay. I did it by accident at one point. So honestly, tell you the truth, Nitro, I didn't even know he still had his channel up. So that's news to me. But mm, oh, now Dolly says I think Talia is just how did I don't even remember actually highlighting that. Anyway, Dolly says I think Talia is just pushing Jada to be happy. Remember, Jada had an ex-husband in addition to Eric's relationship. Yeah, I mean, I get that, Dolly, but like, she knows the rules, and she knows that if Jada breaks those rules, like, she's out of a job, you know, or at the very least, Rafe is out of a job. So while it's like her heart's in the right place, but even that whole, you know, fake meetup or whatever. Now, CW says Albert because that's how Thomas was written. He is kind of written ambiguously so that you don't know what he is, and when Brooke or any Logan needs cropping up, they throw him under the bus. Hmm. Yeah, my whole thing is like here's the thing. I'm still getting used to B&B. I've been watching. I mean, granted, I've been watching B&B a little bit longer, but here's the thing. I understand both sides of how people see Thomas. You know, like when Kyrie's is like, and this wine just hit me a little bit faster, but loving someone unconditionally has its limits. You know, and me personally, I know that I had to love people from a distance. You know, and maybe on some level, maybe CW is right as far as Thomas always playing the bad guy to sit there and prop up under other people. I don't know. Ron says, Albert, I disagree with the others in the comment section because what Thomas did had nothing to do with worked. It was professional, and he had every right to be at the family business. Well, not if they can't trust him. That's the thing. If they can't trust him, then that's an issue. Dolly says, "I will admit she is being written a little younger acting. It does feel like a doctor would act a little more mature than Talia acts." Never know who's gonna sit there and stop by the live stream. I'll tell you that much. Shauna says Liam forgave Bill and Bill forgave Liam, but they expect Rich to not forgive his son. It burns me out. And also, Darby, thank you for that compliment because I was just like, where did that come from? I haven't did a video on that man in like months. I think you should do a boxing match. What? Darby said, trust him with that. He's a designer. Trust him with what? He's a designer, not a priest. Johnson says, I would rather see the bring Brandon back to the show and pair him with Jada. Ron says, I bet if you can prove that your voice is using a different screen access, your live chat. What? Okay. Ron says, Albert, if you can prove that your voice is using a different screening to access your live chat, what will be your option? Well, if he's chill and he's not going to sit there and cause trouble or really argue with people in the chat and really fight with people, then it's fine. You know, that's that's pretty much the bottom line with that, Ron. My whole issue of why I banned him was because he was arguing with people, and it just seemed like he was just agitating people to agitate people. You come and you want to chill, that's cool. Harry says, I thought Hope had sole custody, that's why I was done. I got to ask you. Oh, Riverdale's on right now. Jonathan, have you been watching Riverdale? Because I saw I finally saw last week's episode. It was it was interesting. I'll tell you that much. I'm not. So, Jonathan, what are your thoughts on it? I've been looking for somebody else to talk to about Riverdale. Dolly says I definitely co-sign on Brandon coming back. I've been wanting him to bring him back for a big story for years. Darby says, I like how you're doing your live stream today. Thank you, Darby. Um, I'm gonna sit there and try to throughout the day try to learn as much as I can about StreamYard. And yeah, as honest to tell you the truth, at the end of the day, I'm always meant to try to get better. You know, I love what I do. That's just point blank. Period. Also, I'm sorry I started a little bit late, but I had to sit there and try to charge up my laptop a little bit more before I started. So apologies for that. Gary says, but it doesn't seem they have joint custody still. Just yeah, still he just permanently lives at that. Cheyenne, what's good, Cheyenne? Johnson says it's interesting that they're doing it in the 50s decades. Jonathan, I feel like I just have to get used to it. I love Riverdale. I know a lot of people don't, but it just kind of threw me for a loop because I'm just like, what the 50s? Like the last season, I don't know. I'm not used to it. And for them to just go that route just seems odd to me. But I'm gonna stick with it though. Cheyenne, what happened to your live stream that you were supposed to have on Saturday? What happened to that? You said it was supposed to be at let me Ron says yes, we can agree. We can all agree and disagree without the comic book calling names. Well, yeah. Wait, I would block him. Like I said, Ron, if he's going to sit there and be chill, then I'm cool with it. If not, then Billy says I actually want Days to do a twist where Brandon was revealed was revealed as Jada's ex-husband and the mystery guy who broke Stefan's heart. Him and said, "Oh, that would be interesting. That will be interesting." Double C, you're also watching Riverdale. What do you think of Riverdale? Well, I know it's only the first episode, but what do you think of it so far? Though? Darby says, "Dolly, Who is Brandon Walker?" I'm very curious about that myself. CW says Nicole's brother. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Thank you last time. Shauna says if Steffi wasn't with Finn, Liam would have been over there. Kyrie says, well, I'm going to read that in a second. Kyrie says, poor Douglas. I guess Douglas didn't take Albert's advice. Uh, Kyrie says, poor Douglas. I guess Douglas didn't take Albert's advice, yet he just accepted average as. I love it. I love it, Kyrie. Cesspool, Jesus. Now, Dolly says Brandon is Abe's son and Nicole's half brother. On days he also slept with Lexi and was a candidate to be Leo's daddy. He also was married to Sammy. Ron says Phoenix said that next week, April 10th, that Phyllis is alive and there's not going to drag it out. I do remember you saying that. Ron said that's interesting. Sharon says change mine and busy sometimes. I'm sick and tired of my family talking over the background while streaming. Albert does April 22nd, Saturday work for you. Uh, maybe. Um, Email me and we'll see. I don't want to sit there and say yes because I don't know what I'm doing that day. So we'll see. I don't even know how far out that is. Kyrie says yes. That's my new name. That's my newest name. Hashtag cesspool. I don't know why. I just maybe because of the fact there's four people that's living in the house. But I always kind of want to live in a cabin. You know, something about like the rain and stuff like that when it's heavy. Just seems like it's really good for for some solid sleep. Hashtag cesspool. Damn. No, I gotta sit there and say, Carrie, you hold nothing back. Dolly says Brandon was a big reason behind the Nicole and Salem, the Nicole and Sammy beef. Nicole worked just as hard to break up Brandon and Sammy as Sammy did to break up Ercole. Hmm. Damn, I've been missing out on some of that stuff back then. Carrie says, I hope to see the stream between you and Cheyenne. I have a feeling it'll be fun. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Kyrie's. I mean, yeah, if I can do it, if I can squeeze it in, you know, I don't like to sit there and commit to stuff if I don't know what I'm doing that week, you know, because then I'll sit there and say I could, and then run, 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 my friend. Ron says, Albert, I'm still hoping that Sheila is pregnant just to see everyone's reaction, including Ben and even Lee. I'm sorry, I'm just not there reading the comments, and CW says, Ron, that's gross. Shine says, yeah, it will be great idea and appreciate that, Curtis. Um, Jolie says that was back when Nicole was happily married to Victor. She loves scheming with him just like she does. You know, I'm glad you. No, okay, hold on. Seriously? I'm glad you brought that up. Jolie says if that makes 7-year-old Sheila have a baby, I'm out. Now, Dolly says that was back when Nicole was happy married to Victor. She loves scheming with him just like she does these days with EJ. And I'm not gonna lie. I think that's part of the reason why I'm really liking EJ and Nicole together because she's enjoying it. She's not shying away from it. She's not like, oh, this is so wrong and this is terrible and this, that, and the third. She's with it. She's having fun. And you know what? It's giving her something to do that is interesting. So I'm so glad that you brought that up, Dolly. But yeah. Dolly says they make her that if they make 7-year-old Sheila have a baby, I'm out. Now this is Ron's reasoning for that. Ron says, Albert, this is a soap opera and anything is possible. Forget about the age thing. I understand. Here's the thing, Ron. Obviously, I agree with Ron. I still want Sheila to. Johnson says Sheila ain't that old. No, 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 she's not that old. But I mean, like, here's the thing. Always said drunk bad girl Nicole is the best version of Nicole. Here's the thing. They're not. Here's the thing. Even if that's possible, even if they do, because like in all reality, women are in their 60s, they can get pregnant and stuff like that. It's a little more harder. It's a little more of a higher risk. It's possible. But here's the thing, though. It's gross. Okay. No one wants to sit there and see Sheila, that's like 60 plus years old, have a baby. No one wants that. Okay. Does anyone actually want Sheila to actually have a baby? Just let me know in the comment section. Um, Carrie says, I hate to compliment the heifer in any way, but Brooke has more tact than stuck up. Nikki at least she acknowledged Thomas and smiles. Nikki would just ignore Adam and scowl with that hideous look. Hmm. Solomon's in the chat. What's good, Solomon? Johnson says no to Sheila having a baby. Having another baby. How how many children does how many children does Sheila actually have? CW says hell no. And this is Ron's response. Ron says yes, obviously she will be high risk and she would have to be cautious. All right. So here's the thing. Now, Dolly says plus Sheila has like 183 kids. Yeah. Ron has been talking about this baby thing for a hot minute. About Sheila having a baby because he wants to sit there and see the look on Lee and Finn's face. The audience would not allow that. Now, Solomon says that Sheila has five kids. Five kids. CW. Okay, so these are the kids' names. CW says Sheila has five kids: Mary, Diane, Ryder, Daisy, and Finn. You know, this is something that I actually couldn't do on going through YouTube, and I actually like doing it this way also. I like doing it this way also because it does kind of keep it a little bit more focused as far as highlighting comments and stuff like that. Like I said, this whole streaming, being a streamer and stuff like that, it's for me a work in progress, and I'm still learning every single day how to become better. You know. Yes, I'm on StreamYard. I'm on StreamYard. I couldn't do that on if I just went straight through YouTube. I think the next thing I'm gonna sit there and try to learn how to do is polls. I know it's possible, maybe, but still learning. Dolly says, in Sheila's defense, they tried to play us with Brooke getting pregnant with her pushing six. They pulled that mess with 60-year-old Marlena wants to. What? CW says Albert is the biological mother of Daniel's son, Lucian. Oh, okay. Thank you, CW. I didn't know that. Kerry said, I hope the rumors are wrong and RJ actually gets along with Thomas and stuff. It will be interesting to go a different direction for once. Time will tell. Thomas says it's strange that we never see Daisy and Ryder interact with Sheila. Are they actually in LA? Solomon? Cheyenne says Albert is max nearly at 1,500 subs. When I first spoke to him, he was a little over 1,000 subscribers. That is very true. That is very true. Thank you, Cheyenne. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. But I here's the thing. I can't sit there and just give credit to myself. Thank you for saying that, CW, because I didn't know. It's literally everyone in the comment section, all my subscribers that pretty much helped me get to where I am now. Tamara is in the chat. What's good, Tamara? Thank you for joining us. Dolly says, didn't Daisy and Ryder interact with Sheila when they did their weird storyline with Sheila make herself look like Phyllis? What? Solomon says, no, Daisy is in a nut house and I don't know where Ryder is. Oh, okay. Very, very interesting. Well, at least that kind of explains why they're not in LA or anything. Because, Sheila has been obsessing over, hmm, over, Finn for at least 2 years now. So, I wish, I'm not going to lie. I wish I learned how to highlight people's comments when I was asking about the nurses ball and if anyone was actually liking it because I want to hear some positive stuff. So, since I actually know how to do that, if anyone's watching General Hospital, tell me some stuff about the nurses ball that you like or you don't like. And we'll sit there and talk about that. They're very curious about everyone's stories. Okay, I didn't know he was. I didn't know. Oh, you're right. RJ is both a Logan and a Forrester. CW says Sheila is only interested in Finn is because he's married to the Forrester family and she's obsessed with the Forresters. Oh, okay. Nadoli says, I think the pink is a great color for Trina. That's all. Damn. Damn. Shauna says, I like nurse. I like the ball. Why? Janet says, Josh and Trina look good, dancing cute. Tell me some stuff you like about the nurse's ball, some stuff you don't like about the nurse's ball. Um, I already expressed my opinions about what I don't like about the nurse's ball, which is the nurse's ball itself. AJ's in the chat. What's good, AJ? Let's everyone say what's up to AJ. How are you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. Jen says, woman dress, very good. Janet says, the women dress very good. Darby says, Trina is beautiful. Uh, Darby says, Trina is beautiful, but Trina is annoying. And AJ says, only like Trina and Josh's performance. Hmm. Shauna says, it was stated because Robin wanted to bring awareness to AIDS and HIV she got from Dante. T-Dome. Okay. Ron says Chloe should be ashamed of herself and how dare she talks to a child like that. Rachel is only 7 years old. You know, oh Lord B says Stone. Now Ron, I was actually thinking about that. I was thinking about that. And I look at that and I'm like, listen, if you're in a relationship with somebody and their child don't like you and you don't like that child, it's done. It's done so. Point blank period. That person should always pick their child over you. That's it. They should always pick their child over you. So I don't see any way around that. So I don't understand, if you don't like her that much, Now Tamara says Rachel is a brat. That's very. I don't like speaking ill of children, but yeah, she definitely. Um, Brady needs to step up as far as being a dad because that is absolutely ridiculous. Sharon says General Hospital has never been a mainstream. What does that mean? Honestly, exactly. Chloe should take a look at herself. Okay. Darby says, Ron, Chloe is only human, and Rachel is being a brat, and she reached Chloe's limits of patience. That's very true. That is very, very true. But that's why I look at that. I'm like, yo, it's a wrap. I agree with that, AJ. 100%. Link is a creep. Um, every time he comes in the scene, it makes your skin crawl. Yeah. Now Tamara says, okay, Rachel parents can be better. Well, particularly Brady. You know, Dolly says Brady is a lousy dad. He has a whole baby with Kristen after the horrible stuff she did with Tay Tay and Teresa. Yeah, AJ, did you see the look on Brooklyn's face? You saw the look on Brooklyn's face. She was not happy. Gemini's in the chat. Let's everyone say what's up to Gemini. How you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. Um, oh, Kyrie said, I think Esme could kick Jocelyn's ass if she wanted to. You know what? To be fair, I haven't actually seen Esme throw down. So I've only seen Josh fight. And as much as I don't like, it's just how sort of, yeah, she was not happy. As much as I don't like Josh can hold her own. I give her props where her props are due. She can hold her own. But yeah, Brady definitely needs to step up as a father. That's Jesus. Gemini says Brooklyn does not have to worry because Sonny and Carly will deal with her old music manager. It's true. Seriously? Dolly says Days really needs to come up with something for Chloe to do besides crawl for Brady. I need that old school ghoul girl energy from Chloe. Hmm. This is why I'm cool with Xander and Chloe hooking up because I feel like that'll be a very interesting dynamic. You know, AJ pretty much doesn't have a dog in the fight between Esme and Josh because well they can both kick rocks in her eyes. Seriously, why do you? Johnson says, "Are you sad to see Chloe struggle to have a relationship with Brady after the way she treated Philip?" No. Thank you, Jonathan, for remembering that. Jesus Christ, thank you, Jonathan. You are amazing. Yes, I'm not. I'm not. She treated Philip like a damn toilet seat. Yeah, that's the bottom line. She literally treated that man like a toilet seat. Now, granted, or before that, or before that, Philip didn't actually treat it Chloe any better until Chloe actually started dressing hot. So I feel like my perspective will probably change a little bit if I saw that, but because I didn't see that, I'm like, hmm. And Ron says I prefer Chloe and Philip being together. Why? Shauna says how Brady let Rachel outsmart him because she's the daughter of Kristen DeMera. Yes, I can. We can all sit there and laugh about that together, Shauna. But that's the truth of the matter. She outsmarted Brady and she outsmarted Chloe. And she's like, what, 7? Listen, give that little actress an award. Call it a wrap. Seriously. Chloe says Chloe never treated Philip bad. Trust if you watch OG Philip, you wouldn't feel that way. Philip walked as a spoiled rich jerk, so Spencer could run. Hmm. Yeah, that's what I was there. That's what I was there saying though, to some extent. that I heard it was a lot different back in the day, and unfortunately, I don't actually have that perspective. Ron says why? Because Chloe and Brady are boring together, and they are like watching paint dry. Hmm. Shakira's in the chat. What's good, Shakira? How have you been? Hope all is well with you. Shauna says yes, she needs an award. They better give her a damn award. I'll tell you that much, Shauna. Mel says I heard that Philip Kirakis and probably Sammy will be back. I'm very curious about your sources. Johnson says, who do you think is a bigger brat? Rachel, a child, or Spencer on GH? Spencer. Jonathan, I don't even actually have to think about that. Literally, it took me less than 3 seconds to sit there and say that. I'm glad you're doing good, Shakira. It is really amazing to see you in the chat. Yes, Ron, she does. Jolie says Philip was giving. Uh, Jolie says Philip was giving Spencer Castle energy in the late '90s and early 2000s. Wow. Dee Dee's in the chat. Was good, Dee Dee. And of course, Dee Dee says Spencer. Oh, Johnson says I met Spencer as a child. Spencer. Yep, Spencer. Excuse me. I still remember that. I still remember that version of Spencer. Oh my god, I couldn't stand him. Yeah, I really couldn't stand him. AJ says I don't know who Rachel is, but she's more of a brat than Spencer. But if you don't know who she is, then how do you know that she's more of a brat than Spencer? Shannon says who sat down and Didi says I love Anna and Valentine today. Ron says and Kimberly Brown deserves her Emmy Award for Best Actress. Just as Spencer as a child didn't annoy me as much as Spencer now. Hmm. as much. Maybe. I think you're kind of right about that, Jess. I think you're kind of right about that. I mean, he was annoying. Don't get me wrong, but this version is oof, so much worse. But I will say, to be a little bit fair, I will sit there and say that Spencer does have his moments. Okay, they are rare. They're hard to find, but mostly when he's with Trina, yeah, he's tolerable. I prefer Spencer as an adult. Hold on, I missed something. John Spencer was annoying. Uh, Now Gemini said, Gemini says Spencer as a child was pretty cool. I like the childhood Spencer. Bless your heart. Bless your heart, Gemini. Bless your heart. Seriously? Totally says, I remember the summer when teenage Chloe literally got off a plane because she'd rather spend her summer alone than chill her friends in a tropical island. Why? Because trifling Philip. Oh wow. Dolly, yeah. I mean, it sounded like Philip was it sounded like Philip actually might have been worse than Spencer. As annoying as Spencer is, I feel like I feel like I feel like Philip was actually worse than Spencer. AJ says I like Spencer now because of Nicholas Chavez. AJ said I didn't like Spencer when NB was playing him. Yeah, I didn't know who the child version was, but I mean, personally, I didn't even really care about the actors that were playing them. Um, I just felt that the child version was annoying, but the adult version is actually worse. So there's that. There is that. Oh, Nicholas. Okay. Well, like I said, he has his moments. Jolie said Chloe was like, bum this. I'm going to spend the summer singing show tunes for Brady. Now, CW says Nicholas, whatever his name, was a really bratty version of Spencer. Yeah, but the older version is actually worse. So, um, Ron says an overall winner is Days of Our Lives for best. Ron says an overall winner is Days of Our Lives for best writing and drama and best drama. Like I said, AJ, Spencer has his moments. I give him that much. Um, Chandler says you deal with kids better. And Gemini says, I think Phyllis regrets her decision to be dead because Jeremy gives her money and lives out in the open. Well, also what she's doing. All right, that's cool, AJ. I mean, I have nothing against the actors. They both played their parts. But my whole thing with Phyllis is like, her children are feeling like garbage right now, which I don't even feel like they should. Hippie's in the chat. Was good, Hippie? Thank you for joining. Let's everyone say what's up to Hippie. Johnson says, I wouldn't say the current version of Spencer is worse because remember the child version hurls so many insults that can. The problem is I wasn't watching it during that time, and I only remembered a little bit of him, but I don't know, Jonathan. I still would have to sit there and say the adult version is still oof, worse. NJ says NG put Spencer on the map. Seriously? Not your comment, but um, that's cool that you like him. Brooklyn says Diane supposedly helped Phyllis to get rid of Stark. Hey, Brooklyn says Diane supposedly helps Phyllis to get rid of Stark. What? Um, yes and no, Cheyenne. I mean, the virus isn't gone, but that I would sit there and say that part is over during the pandemic, but the virus is not. Um, just says seriously. Now Jess says adult Spencer is still worse. Yeah, that's how I feel. Billy says, Albert, is there any canceled soaps you missed out on watching when you wish you could have seen? Um, Passions. Passions. I would sit there and say passions. Also, no. Let me change that. All my children. All my children I felt like I missed out on. I had to sit there and rethink about that because I'm like, everyone talks about all my children. And I feel like I missed out on that. So I would sit there and say all my children. Now this is an interesting comment. Gemini says, I think Trina reminds Spencer of his mom because she had a good nature. That's very true, Gemini. Johnson says, I definitely missed out on passions. I missed out on passions, but I was also sit there and say, all my children. He always says, all my children were solid. Also, there are some great actors I miss in daytime. Harry says, I'm assuming all my children had a lot of pregnant storylines. And Jess says, passions. I keep forgetting when it comes towards Jess, I'm like, millennials, like I'm like decades older than Jess, I feel. Freddie, what's good, Freddie? Freddie says for everyone, Link sexually. Now, Nikisha says Spencer never even met his mom. She died right after his birth. That's very true. That was like that's very true, but I don't know. Maybe the stories that people told of maybe the stories that people told to Spencer about Courtney, or maybe Like I'm trying not to get too philosophical. Too philosophical. Just says you're just yeah. Just says you're only 11 years older than me. Oh, okay. It's very true, but I don't know. Every time I sit there and talk about something, Jess is just like, Albert, you're showing your age. The hell? Nikita said I was taking a break from watching at the time. Now Johnson says Spencer interacted with his mom as a ghost. Well, I feel like it's more than that, though. I feel like it may be just a nature thing, you know? Like even I don't know. And granted, this is a stretch, but I can't even explain it. Never mind. Neuron says, Albert, what is your take on GH getting rid of Ingo sooner because they use COVID, man, as an excuse? Well, it wasn't an excuse, Ron. That was literally it. There was no excuse. They literally said, "Yeah, Ron, that was an excuse. That was literally it. He didn't take the vaccine, so he got fired. Point blank. Period. Where's the excuse that Kyrie says Albert looks young, but talks his age? Thank you, Kyrie's. Yeah, I thought Albert was around my age. And then I start talking about stuff like cops and I don't know, Happy Days and TGIF, and then I start showing my age. And then he says I haven't been able to watch much of the lives, but I do like the new format you've been trying. Yeah, I think it's cool. I can't do the polls anymore, but I feel like um highlighting some of the comments will definitely make it a little more organized instead of just trying to read random comments here and there. So thank you, Didi, and thank you for joining. It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. So it's good to see you in the chat again. Now Angie says Courtney was annoying. I mean, Courtney was boring. I don't know. I like Courtney. John says I'm not gonna lie, Albert. I literally thought you were like 20 something when I first watched you. I probably act like that sometimes. Thank you for saying that though, Jonathan. And honestly, tell you, Jonathan, you've been with me for a hot minute. I remember I used to sit there and see you in the comment section for a while. So thank you for just being here. Thank you for still sticking with the channel. Thank you for still sticking with me. Lady says she's grounded Sonny a lot. He really loved her, Courtney. I mean, yeah, I like Courtney. I like Courtney with Jason and stuff like that. And be honest, also Courtney was pretty hot. So there's that. And Brooklyn says bringing back TJ on JT is going to backfire, and if anything, bring Nate and Victoria closer. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. I love the fact that you still part of the channel. That means everything to me. So thank you. So, Becky D's in the chat. What's good, Becky D? Let's everyone say what's up to Becky D. Thank you for joining us tonight. Bella says the reason Kate is not dead is because she would go tell everyone that Bo did not shoot me and he is alive. So he wanted to be a surprise. Yeah, I don't understand. Okay, and I wanted to kind of do a review. I'm kind of glad I didn't do a review on Days of our Lives today because this was just stupid. Um, this episode was kind of dumb. But I don't understand. Like you're holding your sister hostage with a gun. You want to make sure she doesn't leave. You want to sit there and build this empire off of what, bro? You need Kiriakis money. Oh, my dad was a Kiriakis. Yeah, he also had Kiriakis money. So like, did I miss something? I'm not understanding this whole thing with Bone. I'm really not. Thank you for bringing that up, though. Especially with this new little highlight thingy. I guess it's supposed to be some sort of fight. Um, Last day is supposed to be some sort of fight on Saturday, a UFC fight. Uh, Now CW says, remember how Phyllis threw Nikki, Sharon, and Victor under the bus and cut a deal for JT support death when it was all her idea and not to tell the truth and bury the body. Yeah, but now Summer's there whining and crying about how Diane stole her life. Like this is so dumb. Now Carrie says Lucy is extremely annoying. Yeah, or annoying her. Dolly says I enjoy Plot People Ball. He's ridiculous, but I love my day's ridiculousness. I mean, I love ridiculousness. I love ridiculous too, to some extent, but there's just things that's just not really adding up for me. You know, like as far as Pod People goes, Bill was funny when I kept calling him Zombie Bill, but at least there was a reason for that to some extent that we didn't know at the time. Um, but this whole Bo, I want to sit there. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Shoot her? You're gonna shoot your? You're gonna shoot your baby sister, Kayla? Really? None of that's making any sense. Oh no, Becky D. I trust me, I get it. Auto spell is a pain in the ass. No, Hippie says at least Jason 2.0 went through shock therapy. Thank you, Hippie. Daisy Flower, what's good, Daisy Flower? Daisy Flower says, "Did you, hi, unpopular opinion. I am on Sabrina overload." Ron says, "Why?" Ron says, "Why would the Kane character didn't want to do what the writers wanted him to do? Maybe he thought he was in charge." Um, here's the thing. I don't. I agree that at the end of the day, you know, he's not in charge, but I understand the idea of characters doing something, or an actor playing a character that he knows that the character wouldn't normally do. Okay, like Marcus. Marcus. I feel like my thoughts are all over the place. Johnson says a mixed Fox family from the late '90s to early 2000s. So Marcus, let's look at the whole Marcus and Tyler thing when it comes towards Esme's storyline. Marcus slept with Esme, Marcus' version of Nicholas slept with Esme, and people will swear up and down that Tyler, if Tyler played Nicholas, that they wouldn't have wrote him that way, as though this wine is really getting to me, as though Tyler or Marcus have anything to do with the writing. But people will constantly sit there and blame the actor for something that the writers are writing for him. Okay. So yeah, so we want to talk about that, Kyries. So yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, I do, Ryan. Um now now Nikisha is pretty much kind of backing what Kyries is saying. AJ said thank you, AJ. But yeah, Kyrie Smith is saying Tyler version would have never slept with Esme. But Tyler doesn't write for the show though. And neither does Marcus. Kyrie says the writers wouldn't have wrote Tyler as a creepy old man sleeping with Esme. So then why did they write Marcus though? See, the reason why I'm sitting there saying this is because people have been coming at people that came at Marcus for something that, like, that's not, he doesn't write for them. Jesus Christ, hold on, let me see something. Now, Nikisha says, I'm not blaming the actor, but the writers wouldn't have wrote that for TC. Even writers will tell you they write for different actors differently. That's interesting because Tony D's in the chat. Was good, Tony D. Um, I've heard from, we'll sit there and say a friend. Just said, I don't know, but I would hope they wouldn't retire it. Ron says, Albert, did you see Phoenix? Yeah, I saw it. I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw it. Nikisha, writers play to the actor's strengths. Here's the thing. On some level, I feel, and yes, Nikisha, you do have a point about that. But this is where we get into this problem. Because Nikisha said writers play to the actor's strengths. And I've heard that from, let's say, a friend, that sometimes writers will curve their writing to some extent to play to the character's strengths. But I'm going to actually have to disagree on the fact that they would sit there and write Marcus sleeping with Esme, but not write Tyler sleeping with Esme. Because what it comes down to is a story. They said, you're still on opera. I thought you were done. Dave, usually I am. Usually I am because of the battery. But thank you for joining. Well, thank you for coming back. Now, Daisy says the guy who plays Victor can get scenes changed. Really? I don't know how that's possible. I kind of feel like that really shouldn't be possible. But see, that's my whole thing now. If we're based, Now, Nikish said interview a professional writer and see what they say. Joey says it's true. Characters do shift based on who is playing the part. No, I believe that. I believe that. Now, Kyrie says if I had a magic wand that had writers, GH would appear in his live stream right now. But see, that's the thing though. Because okay, so let's just sit there and say that Keisha, Kyrie's, and everyone in the chat, they believe that. China says dealing with weight gain. I wish I was dealing with weight gain to some extent. As far as me gaining more weight. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that if that's something you're struggling with. But this is kind of what Ron is not there talking about. Because people will sit there and harass the actor based off the storyline. And so if people are sitting there telling me that the writing will change depending on the actor, then that's basically sitting there saying that's thank you, Tony D. Thank you. That's basically sitting there saying that, well, if the storyline for Nicholas sucks for so much, sucked, then we can sit there and say it was because of the actor. And then that's just a problem right there. Because in reality, writers shouldn't be basing their writing off of an actor, but off of the story. Because you're basically sitting there saying, well, if the story sucks, we could just sit there and blame that person. Are you kidding me? Now Johnson says, I heard Eric and Nicole will have a close moment this week. How angry do you think EJ will be if Nicole is cheating? Extremely angry on Jonathan, and honestly, tell you the truth, I would kind of want to sit there and review that, especially that. So, Deja Flash says, yes, he has been playing Victor longer than the person writing the story. Currently, he has more insight into how the character will act. But then that's just terrifying, then. That is just terrifying, then. That's a problem. That's a problem. Let me read this. Freddie says Jordan mind stay on putting people in prison, also coming in crime scenes. When will the writers ever let Jordan have a man or woman or somebody give her a love interest? Naran says Phoenix said in his video that even Maurice gets harassed and Laura Wright and Cindy Watt, people give them a hard time on Twitter. Not just basically Smith is saying that they're giving them a hard time because the writers are writing for them. I'm gonna be honest, that is literally the too much power. Yeah. That just gives people carte blanche, or how you say that, to come after the actors when the story isn't good. It's terrible. Sucks ass and it needs to change. Now, Tony D says, I have a question. Where is Brad from GH now that Phyllis is back? Heck, where is Lucas in the attic? So, really? Nikki said the writers are supposed to write for the actor's strengths. That's literally part of their job. Yeah, that's part of their job. But when you're writing questionable storylines and then Smith is saying, well, I only write this because that's how I felt like the actor was going to sit there and play it, then that's people are accountable for their own actions. That's true. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm just gonna sit there and say it right now. I don't like it. Listen, y'all may be right. Okay, I'm just gonna sit there and say about that, Cheyenne. Um, it's just I think every actor. Seriously, it just I think every actor gets harassed on Twitter now. I think now I know why they're barely on that Bird app. Oh, seriously? Did you just? No, I agree with that. Keep trying to highlight something. I can't see it. Albert says, think about all my children. The new writers came in and wrote characters out of character because they didn't know the characters that is on that is one of AMC got canceled. Okay, and that's true. People are accountable for their own actions, Nagisha. But it's just I don't like it. And yes, Dolly, that is very true as far as the casting department. But it's still I don't like it. 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 Yeah, I don't like it. But I'll tell you one thing I do like though. Have a good night, Laura B. Thank you for joining us. The hell am I doing with my hands? Um, that's the one thing I do like though. Learning more. Oh, thank you, Cheyenne, because I really wanted people to know that. Um, not that it was a huge secret, but I don't really understand what was the need to actually say that. Have a good night. Never mind. Nikisha, if you were a writer, you would understand it's not an easy job. No, I get it's not an easy job. I get it's not an easy job, and it's it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's funny because as my what I do is I sit there and I critique these shows. And a lot of times I critique these shows, and by doing that extension, I critique the writing. And I understand what they do isn't easy. And on the occasion when I was not there talking yesterday about that person that came in and was giving me, you know, all the smoke or whatever because I didn't say one nice thing about GH. Um, I used to be that person. I used to be that person who sit there and go in when an actor, I mean, when a critic, when a reviewer would sit there and say something I didn't like, because back then I didn't realize how hard doing this actually is. So now Johnson said, "Do you think Leanne will?" Johnson says, "Do you think Liam will try to push RJ to replace Thomas as lead designer?" That would be interesting. That would be interesting. That'd be a good storyline. I would like that. I mean, to answer that question, I don't know, but I would like that storyline. Shauna says, "Is Shauna coming back?" AJ said, "Writing on a TV show is hard." No, I get it. You know, Daisy Flowers says Ron was let go from GH due to writing and acting. Didn't think he understood their characters. Oh. Oh, I knew he was let go. I just didn't know like why or anything like that. Somebody asked me a question. I'm trying to find it. Darby says, I've been meaning to ask you today, Albert, did you call a woman yesterday, especially when I told you my real. And Darby said, I've been meaning to ask you today, Albert, did you call a woman yesterday, especially when I told you my real first name was Daniel? Um, did I call a woman yesterday? No, I didn't call a woman yesterday. I don't even remember what I did yesterday except for the live stream. Yeah. I do remember you saying that though. Yeah. Now AJ, okay, hold on. AJ says Ron is one of the reasons why I was on hiatus for 5 years. Oh wow, okay. Carrie says, like at least you're like Carrie says, at least you're yourself, Albert. If people don't like it, tell them to kick rocks with no socks. Every time I hear you say that, I think of Doctor Who plays. Yeah. No, I get that. I get. Here's the thing, Carrie. Is I felt like normally I do. I normally do, but I guess for me personally, I had a little compassion for that person because I was that person. I was that person. I was that person that was just like upset when a reviewer would say stuff that I didn't like. Because, back then it was just like, listen, if you're not on board with what I'm thinking, then F you, this, that, and the third, you know? So I get it. I get it. And, it's one of those things where it's like now, doing what I do now, I can appreciate it so much. Hell, even doing live streams, I can appreciate people that do live streams and how much work it is, what it really comes down to. So, because yeah, normally that's kind of my first instinct is to tell them to kick rocks. Johnson says Ron came to GH along with Frank right now. One Like to Live was canceled. Right after One Like to Live was canceled. Hmm. Yeah, I feel like that's just. Oof, I'm not a fan of that. Becky says, Becky says we all have mellow but age like fine wine, Albert. Thank you, Becky. Thank you. Yeah, I look at it. Now, Krista said you're only human. No, thank you, Krista. Thank you. I just look at it like, and in all reality, also the person that came in the comment section wasn't cursing me out or anything like that. They were just unhappy that, well, they are unhappy that I didn't sit there and say nice things about GH. And I sit there and I look at it and I'm just like, well, like that, out of all the reviews I do, that was your takeaway? Like, seriously? Did I only set negative comments? Just as I don't think the writing for GH has been good in a while. Yeah, no, that's very true, Josh. So I mean, I'm gonna sit there and speak my mind, and I really do miss those days when, well, when it actually was. But I get it though. One day one day I'm actually gonna get a new chair. But yeah, no, writing for a show is very difficult to do, and playing a character is very difficult to do. I just don't like when people come after the characters for the writing. DJ Fly says you're entitled to your opinion. I personally like GH over the other subs. Yeah, no, thank you, DJ Flower. It's weird because like I love GH and I love Days, and I feel like a lot of times they're ties in some respective. But I guess if I had to sit there and really choose one, for better or worse, and I literally do mean worse at times, I would choose GH. Even though that I love Days of Our Lives. Have a good night, Freddie. Thank you for joining. He says, I just Becky D. Seriously? Becky D said, no, screw that. Becky D says, I just assume it was somebody who hasn't been watching your reviews for a very long time. Maybe, maybe. But even with that though, even every time I do a review, I always sit there and say something positive about the episodes. Hell, even Monday, which was again, I'm gonna sit there and say this. Monday's episode was literally the worst General Hospital episode I've ever seen in my entire life. But even I said something nice about that. What pissed me off is that it didn't offer anything, you know? But I always sit there and I always say something about the episode or about the characters or something like that. But again, I get it because, like I said, I was that person at one point in time. Ron says only watch Stage of Our Lives and Young and the Restless, and sometimes both because I like Kimberly Brown, aka Sheila Carter. I may be freezing on some of you. I may be freezing. Let me know if I'm freezing in the chat. Hippie says I think Sam was a great actress with Jason. Daisy Flaws says Krista says Daisy Flaws is too far sci over the top. Okay, all right, screw this. Sam was a private detective in one case. Now, Daisy Flaw says, I grew up on Days, but it has been gone way too campy for me. I no longer feel in connection to Days. I am tired of all of the senior citizens being the heroes. The younger generations don't get a chance. And see, I will sit there and say that. Have a good night, Tony D. I will sit there and say that. Is that with GH is the exact opposite. GH do not really utilize their vets like Days of Our Lives does. And as much as I like GH, this is where Days of Our Lives is in some ways the better show. You know? Oh, you're calling Bobby every now and then, you're calling Felicia. Why? Is Felicia and Bobby gonna do anything? Is Robert gonna do anything? No? Then why the hell are we calling them for? So while I understand your idea, Daisy Flaw, as far as having a younger generation kind of come in and stuff like that, Days of Our Lives is very balanced. And that's something that GH is struggling with. Point blank, period. But I do like your comment though, Daisy Flower. Have a good night, Brooklyn. It was great seeing you in the chat. I hope I get to see you again soon. Yeah, AJ, I mean, like I said, it's just the truth. Curry said he would have written the show better than Tony because he would have been overgrown fan. He actually the Daisy Flaw says why is 70 something the hero and not 40 Sean? I mean Daisy Flaw, I'm not saying it's perfect. But again, GH pretty much kind of okay. As much as I love GH has a lot of problems. They have way more characters than is necessary. And again, they don't use their vets like they're supposed to. Days is much more of a balanced show. You know, what's the point of actually having Bobby to come in just to show up? Oh, we're gonna get Tracy back. Is Tracy actually going to be in a major storyline, or is she just back for fanfare? So again, as much as I love GH is my heart. I gotta sit there and stick up for days when it comes towards that. Johnson says there are existing characters on days that haven't been used yet. Yeah, I'm not saying it's perfect, but they do a better job than GH does. And I will sit there and say this as much. Well, I'll just sit there and say it's a lot. There's a lot of times that GH needs to sit there and learn some stuff from Days of Our Lives. Point blank period. Sean says can't wait for the next 8 months to pass by. Well, what happens in the 8 months, Cheyenne? Shauna says why they say Helena's coming back. I don't know. Ron says in Days Youth there are black characters like Abe and Chanel, Paulina. I miss Lonnie, and it's true too. Krista says I like watching the younger cast on GH. I have teenagers and those are the characters they relate to and we can watch together. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Krista, I'm not, I feel like there's a balance to everything, but I don't know. Like I said, they're both great soaps, and I can understand why people like GH because they use their younger characters. But here's the thing: Days use their younger characters too. People act like Days don't use their younger characters, but they do. Dave said, I better be going. I better take it. Have a good night, Dave. Thank you for joining. Now, AJ says the younger characters are killing on GH, and that's true. They are. Props is definitely given. But see, that's the thing, though. See, this is the counterbalance. While the younger characters are killing it, what are they doing to more of the older vets? Oh, we have Scott coming in to do what? You know. So there's I can see both sides of GH and Days. You know. Johnson says, I remember One Like to Live had a lot of younger characters. That's true. They did. Now AJ says the adult puts me to sleep sometimes. Yeah, I mean I get it. Like I said, you're more into the younger characters and that works for you. Daisy Flower says Days is not that balanced and the most generous show stories. Sean should be leading. Yeah, I mean they let Sean down and whenever they do Sean, um they always gotta sit there and add Jan Spears into it. So yeah, I'm not Daisy Fly. I'm not just saying it's perfect, but I do feel that Days does it better in some aspects than GH. And like I said, Daisy Flower, I grew up watching GH pretty much. I've been watching it since the year 2000, but I gotta sit there and give credit where credit's due. Sean says the only character I want to come back is Morgan. He says I heard Cam will be back off and on. Yeah. Sean says not obese. I'm 6'0" and 230, trying to lose 30 pounds. I'm trying to add pounds. So it should be a good summer. Shakira says, Albert, do you think Paulina losing her mind? No, I don't. I don't think she's losing her mind. But I know it's not Sloan. I'm very interested to see who it is, though. Now, AJ says, I think it's because I'm 30. That's why I prefer watching younger characters. Yeah, Daisy Flower. No, we just see differently, and like I said, that's why I said I can agree to disagree. I try to look at it from both sides, so I understand where you're coming from. And the same thing with Jess. Jess said, "Yeah, I don't care for the vets. They're not interested." Now, last day says Albert started watching GH around the year 2000. I wasn't even born yet. So yes, once again, like Jess always say, I'm showing my age again. Um, Jess said, I don't care about Tracy coming back or Bobby or Felicia or any of these stories. Shakira says, you super young last day. It's true. Come on, Jess. You know it's true. You know it's true. Uh, I mean, I still know what Tuesdays and Thursdays stands for. Yes, okay. I still know what Tuesdays and Thursdays stands for, particularly Tuesdays. Jess. So you let me know if you know what I'm talking about when I sit there and say I know what Tuesday stands for. Now Johnson says they always knew how to use their vets in the younger generations. Yeah, they do a much better job. Didi said, yeah, Albert and I are around the same age. Now, like I said, Jess, when I sit there and say I know what Tuesdays stand for, not Taco Tuesdays, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's true. Didi, I can agree with that. There are certain adults I'm at. Didi Flaw says, I'm in the middle, but I like when the vets pass the baton. Yeah, I think it's a good balance. Just as I think I know what Tuesdays stand, but I don't know. Yeah, Jess, you know. We not about to sit there and play that game. Ron says, Albert, I like that you are giving credit where it's due. Yeah, you got to. Carrie says, yeah, Albert, I know that. Carrie says, yes, Albert, I know what you see. Carrie knows. I think most people in this chat actually already knows. But yeah, Carrie, down. You know what time it is. Carrie says, I can't stand Johnny Marlena. He really has a punchable face. It just says it's like I'd rather see Esme than Cody. That's how much I'm invested in young characters. That's cool. You gotta like you gotta like who you like. You gotta like who you like. Johnson says Rick, aka Rick Lanson from GH. Seriously? Did you really just Johnson says Rick, aka Rick Lanson from GH, used to be on days. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that. That's what's up. Ron says fans who harass actors because of their storylines are disgusting. I agree with that, Ron. Kyrie says, I'm going to be on my best behavior tonight, so I keep it filtered. See, like I said, Kyrie's, you know, I know, and Jessica knows. Okay? And I think most of the chat already knows. But see, that's the thing, Kyrie. As long as we know, then it's somewhat of an inside joke. Um, it's like research. Okay? I'm literally like sipping on this last inch of wine. Now, granted, I have a big ass bottle right here. Let's see, Jesus, that's heavy. I don't like hangovers, so I'm gonna be a good boy and only have one glass or one cup of wine. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Days does it better with balance. Now Becky to say, yeah, Becky Becky D said, yeah, LOL, yeah, even I figured it out. I'm not too sure what you're talking. I think I have an idea because I did go on research, but the other Tuesday thing, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Shauna says if Victor steals Esmer's baby, her colors will come out. Yeah, it's going to be somewhat interesting tomorrow, and I'm actually looking forward to it, which is why I deleted that whole post about me not reviewing General Hospital. Unless it really sucks, like it's ass, then yeah. Have a good night, Daisy Flower. Thank you for joining us. Shakira says, I agree. Hippie says, Robin's daughter and Ned, I enjoy watching them perform at the nurse's ball. Oh, we got another positive comment. Where is it? Now, Hippie says, Robin's daughter and Ned, I enjoy watching them perform at the nurse's ball. That's good. That's good. I'm glad that people are enjoying the performances of the nurse's ball because at this point, everyone knows it's not my thing. But as long as other people are enjoying it, that's good. And that is, I'm being serious this time. I'm not using the same PR spin that I did at 5:30 in the morning when I had some constructive criticism on my review. Now, Carrie says, I wonder if Dex redeemed himself or screamed for that blunder grilled cheese. Oh, Kyrie's. Shakira says Albert can skip GH. I actually watched GH tonight. I mean I watched GH today, Shakira. I'm still gonna watch GH. Now, if it pissed me off like it did Monday, I'm not gonna review it. But if it's actually good, then I'll watch it. I mean, if it has some good background drama, then I'll watch it. Monday just specifically pissed me off because it gave me nothing to work with and nothing to fall back on. Obviously, it's that sandwich is still making me hungry. Yeah. Shakira says, "What about B&B?" That's also skippable. Um, Honestly, to tell you the truth, no. Here's the thing, Shakira. GH was interesting because it has some good background drama. So you can watch GH, Shakira, and Y&R. I can't even sit there and say Days. Days was just average. Days was just average. So I would sit there and say GH and Y&R. Last Day says Nurse's Ball is not for me, but if you like it, that's fine. Yeah. Last Day, I always feel like live and let live. Live and let live. Um, Harry says, what did you enjoy more today? B&B or Y&R? Honestly, tell you the truth, Kyrie's Y&R. I actually enjoyed Y&R more than B&B. I really actually had to think about that one, Kyrie. That was like, honestly, tell you the truth, B&B didn't really do anything for me. It was mostly a waste. I mean, granted, yesterday's episode was worse, but the only thing that really wound up happening was Liam came in when Hope fell into Thomas' lap. That was it. Have a good night, Ron. Thank you for joining. It was great seeing you in the chat. Always enjoy your energy, even when you're sitting there talking about Sheila having a baby at like 60 to 70 something years old or 700 years old. You always make me laugh. So, Carrie says Hope is going to fall for Thomas. Yeah, Carrie, Krista. And you know what? Liam is going to sit there and push Hope right into Thomas' arms, and it's going to be hilarious. I feel like I'm hungry for a snack. Guess I have to sit there and go to the store. But Sean says Krista. Okay, never mind. Anyway, and Darby said, Shakira says I'm gonna be busy tomorrow. Darby says, what if she does and Thomas don't want her like that anymore? Oh, Darby, that's not gonna matter. Listen. When you got here's the thing, Darby. When you got that type of fixation on someone, that doesn't just go away. It doesn't just go away. CW says B&B at this point should be called the Logan's World because it's all about them. In some ways, I'm kind of glad I haven't really been watching as much as other people because I know it's this whole Logan versus Forster thing, and I just never got that. But Kyrie says, "How am I doing?" Kyrie says Thomas looked like he got more flavor than old plain milk mayonnaise Liam, but I'm personally not attracted to either one of them. Kyrie says I agree, but as soon as Liam pushes her to give up her line, I saw it coming. Yeah, yeah, and honestly, tell you, Krista, that was only the first step. It was only the first step. Um, China says Albert Bostic just got my British passport renewed. Um, I'm too buzzed for a clever comeback, but I'm just gonna sit there and treat that Cheyenne as one of your random comments. But maybe because I'm buzzed, I'm just not gonna like let it annoy me. Cheyenne says Albert just got my British passport renewed today. Really? When did I do that? Okay, that was kind of a stupid question. See, this is why I'm not good as far as witty comebacks. But I don't even have a response for that, Cheyenne. I really don't. Gemini says this live is still, yeah, it's still on. Um, have a good night, Krista. Thank you for joining. Trust me, I'm just as surprised. Johnson says, imagine if Liam rushed in on Hope and Thomas dressed like Rambo with guns and everything. What? Gemini says, I have my popcorn ready. Krista says she's telling you that she got her passport renewed. Paris, you mean China says Abbott has been using this YouTube website since 2006. Cheyenne, I don't know if I should just be creeped out that you know that, maybe, or just like, I'll just sit there and take it as another Cheyenne random comment and just keep it moving. But to be fair, Cheyenne, you didn't actually say anything that crosses the line, so I'm just gonna treat it as exactly. See, Dave, I'm just gonna treat that as in you're just saying random shit. But thank you, CW, for saying that. Last day says Liam should kick Thomas' ass. Now Kyrie says now that Kyrie says now she's back to her random comments. See, I was trying to defend her to support the collab. Well, actually, Kyrie's it's a he. Cheyenne's is a man, but Cheyenne, you actually missed the. Here's the thing, Cheyenne. Him calling you a female or a male, should not be the takeaway of that. That should literally not be the takeaway of that. Becky D says it's all you can do, Albert. That's a weird random football to put about someone. Yeah, Becky D, it is. And Cheyenne is, I'm used to some of Cheyenne's random comments to some extent, as long as they don't just get creepy and just like, yeah, Grams TV. Because I get Cheyenne doesn't actually watch soap operas and stuff like that. Maybe he just wants to be part of the live. So, what the hell? Like, I'm not gonna be a dick and just be like, ugh, you're kind of annoying. I'm just gonna block you. But I'm like, maybe if you can try to add some to the conversation, that be cool instead of just weird random facts that makes no sense. 'Cause some of your comments get on like very borderline what the F. Like I have patience, but only up to an extent. Now Johnson says, I really hope Kate doesn't cheat on Carter with Bill and we have another Who's His Daddy storyline. Well, Johnson, let me ask you a question. How old is Katie? Like, is Katie as old as what you call it? Like, is Katie as old as Sheila? Because I can't see them doing I can't see Katie actually having another child. Giant says the internet is digital world. If I met Albert in person, we would be pretty cool. Yo, Sheila is annoying. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Like, bro, Albert has been on YouTube since 2006. What the? I don't even remember when I actually been on YouTube that long. Johnson says no, Katie is younger than Sheila. Oh, okay. All right, then maybe I could sit there and let that work. Gemini says Katie was the original Victoria from Y&R. Or Kate. Yes, you're right. You're right, Gemini. I do remember seeing that there. I do remember seeing old videos of that. Johnson says, and she's younger than Belle. Ah. Gemini said Katie Hart is no good. Having her first child almost took her out. Darby says John. Does he? Okay. Well, I'm not gonna sit there and talk about the actress' real life medical condition. Never mind. Last day says Albert. That's just creepy that someone knows that. It's here's the thing. Last day. It's just weird. You know. It's a little weird. I wouldn't sit there and say it's creepy yet, but it's a little weird though. It's out of the blue. Because even I don't remember when I actually joined YouTube or when I started just watching YouTube videos. You know what? Now that I think about it, that's a little kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie. That's a little kind of borderline creepy. Have a good night, Shakira. Or weird at best. So Becky D says, Becky D says me out there today. I turned into GH and so it was the same episode I watched on YouTube yesterday. But have a good night, Shakira. Thank you for joining us. Johnson says Darby, well, Katie only kissed Bill once yesterday, so there's no ongoing affair. CW says it's just random. It is random. It's very random. That's what I said. It was like it's. Granted, with him, it's on par to some extent, which is sometimes I'll let it go as long as it's not too far. But sometimes I feel like he gets to that borderline of like. I feel like here's the thing. I feel like if it was any other streamer and somebody says something like that, they would just block with no hesitation. But I have a little bit more patience to some extent. So it's like, okay, it's a little weird, it's a little out there, but it's not too far, you know? And I'm just hoping that it stays that way. Oof, okay. All right. It is getting late and I think my battery is going to get to a point where it starts to max out. Shauna says, Albert, you're on. Yeah, Shauna, I'm usually gone an hour, well, usually about an hour and a half, I'm usually out. But I got a new battery, so and I'm on StreamYard, so I'm able to stay on later. And plus, I don't have to work tomorrow, so it does help. Last day says it gets weird. Last day says it gets weird, and you give people chances. I do try. I do try. Tamara says I'm at eight. I'm at. Tamara says I'm at 18%, hanging in there. Have a good night, Becky D. Thank you for joining us. Now, Becky. Now, Cheyenne says, Cheyenne says, good night, Albert, did not make you intended to feel that way. I know, Cheyenne, I know. It's just sometimes you say things sometimes that's, a little borderline. But, you know, I know that you mean well for the most part, which is why you're still here and why I sit there and talk to you and stuff. So Didi says you can go on the YouTube page and look at the details and see when you join. He probably just did that. Yeah, I figured that as well. But it's more of a random thing than anything else. Well, like I said, Cheyenne hasn't said anything that has been borderline, you know? So yeah. But I'm trying to clap my arms. I mean clap my hands. But okay. Yeah, we're at that point. All right. So yeah. Um battery's starting to get kind of low now. And it's also about to be 11 o'clock in New York time. But I do want to thank everyone for joining now. This was fun. This is fun. I love actually having Jimmy says Albert join YouTube. And yeah. Have a good night, CW. Have a good night, Gemini. I guess I did. It just said it's almost 8 in Cali. Yeah. Have a good night, Grams TV. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. Also, share the video. I know it's kind of hard to sit there and share the video because, trust me, I get it. But if you could, have a good night, Grams TV. Have a good night, Didi. Have a good night, Black Mod. Have a good night, Nikisha. Oof. Have a good night, Tamara. This was a lot of fun. I love doing the whole highlighting comments and stuff like that. And I want to thank everyone for sticking with me. Have a good night, Jonathan. Have a good night, Hippie. Have a good night, Mel. Have a good night, Kyrie, Cheyenne, AJ, Shakira, Blackmon. Yes, Blackmon. Yes. Have a good night, Blackmon. And I'll be snipped here saying good night to like more 18 to 20 something minutes if I keep on here. So just thank you for joining. This was a lot of fun. Yes, Last Day says, see you guys tomorrow night. Yes, definitely last day. I will see you tomorrow. Jimmy says love to highlight comments. Yeah, I feel like it's good. It organizes a lot of stuff. Um that I can sit there and talk and just kind of go back and forth because I think at this point everyone knows that I can't sit there and keep up with every single comment. So I feel like this is kind of good. So yes, thank you, Gemini. I appreciate that. Someone says, "Well, I'm surprised you're still out there. What happened? You've been on later." I got a new battery, Solomon. I got a new battery. So I'm able. Well, one, Solomon, I have a new battery. Two, I'm streaming on StreamYard, and I'm not going through YouTube directly because you going through YouTube, it just drains my battery so much more. So I hate doing that. I mean, obviously, I don't like, you know, it drains my battery, so I go on StreamYard more to do my live streams. So yeah, that's why I'm up later. But honestly, to tell you the truth, Solomon, where's my that's only going to be on Tuesdays and Wednesdays that I do 2 hours. Because most days I have to wake up early, so I'm only going to do like an hour to like maybe an hour and 20 minutes, give or take. I feel like that'll be the new schedule moving forward. Have a good night, Jess. So yeah, I feel like that's going to be a new schedule moving forward. I'm glad that I'm actually able to make a schedule now. Anyway, have a good night, everyone. Stay safe, and I look forward to seeing everyone in the next live stream.